Is there no sound?
I don't think the meeting has started.
Morning. Good morning.
Morning, Sue.
Good morning. David, why don't we get it? Thank you. You ready? Awesome. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Albany County Commission May 4th, the regular commission meeting. Start the meeting here right at 9:30. And Commissioner Rivera. Mr. Gosar is here. Commissioner Richardson not yet in attendance. Can I have you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I'd like to open up the public hearing for the Medicine Bow River Ranch conditional use application, CU-02-21. Is there anybody who would like to make a public comment for the Medicine Bow River Ranch conditional use application, CU-02-21? And for those of you joining us by Zoom, if you just raise your hand, and if we don't see it after a minute or two, if you would just unmute your microphone and we'll get you to be heard. It's the final call for the Medicine Bow River Ranch conditional use application CU-02-21. All right. Entertain a motion to close the Medicine Bow River Ranch conditional use application. Second. Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'd like to open up the Peterson zoning change application, LUC-03-21. Would anybody like to speak on the Peterson zoning change application, LUC-03-21? Final call for the Peterson zoning change application, LUC-03-21. I'd entertain a motion to close that public hearing.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, all those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. I'd like to open up the Champ subdivision application SD-02-21. Is there anybody who would like to speak on the Champ subdivision application SD-02-21? Final call for the Champ subdivision application SD-02-21. I entertain a motion to close that public hearing.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, all those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Finally, I'd like to open up the public hearing for the amendments to the Albany County zoning resolution aquifer protection overlay zone. It seems like there'll be a lot of comments today, so if you could keep your comments to 3 minutes, I'll try to let you know when there's 30 seconds remaining. So please, I'd like to open up for the amendments to the Albany County zoning resolution aquifer protection overlay zone. Sarah Gorin, please go ahead.
Okay, good morning, commissioners. My name is Sarah Gorin, and I live in the city and the county at 508 South 11th Street. And I'm currently the president of Albany County Clean Water Advocates, and will be offering that group's official comments, and there may also be individuals speaking from their personal perspectives. You may remember that this process of revising the aquifer regulations began almost 2 years ago when the county abruptly dropped its enforcement action against reactivation of the gas station in the Aquifer Protection Overlay Zone, often referred to as the APOZ or the APAWS. We were very disappointed, to say the least, at the county's about face. At that time, the public was told that the county's aquifer protection regulations were not strong enough or not written in such a way as to be readily enforceable. If those were the problems, the proposed changes from the 2019-2020 Planning and Zoning Commission that are the subject of today's hearing don't fix those problems. We urge you not to adopt the proposed changes now, but rather to look at them only as a collection of ideas to be considered along with the many you are receiving as part of this comment period and this public hearing, with the goal of offering a substantive redraft within the next few weeks. While some might urge you to delay until the Casper Aquifer Protection Plan is updated, that process is going to take a while, and the development pressures on the APOZ are such that stronger regulations can't wait that long. We have submitted extensive written comments for your consideration. There isn't time to go through those now, but they mainly focus on a clear statement of purpose to prevent degradation of our very high water quality rather than to pollute the aquifer to the maximum level allowed by federal law, to designate accurately the western boundary of the APOZ, which is important to prevent the storage and use of hazardous materials and other potential pollutants within the APOZ, implementation of large lot zoning within the APOZ as recommended by the county's Casper Aquifer Protection Plan now in effect that has never been done, streamlining requirements for septic system installation and replacement within the APOZ to help guide homeowners and regulators, and eliminate the possible expansion of non-conforming uses, that is, uses that are now prohibited within the APOZ. The Wyoming Constitution gives ownership of the state's waters to the state itself. Our public resource of clean drinking water is an essential asset for our community inside and outside the city limits, and appropriate zoning is a cost-effective way of preserving that asset for ourselves and future generations. Thank you very much for this opportunity to comment, and if we can be of assistance in any way, please don't hesitate to ask.
Thank you, Sarah. Would anybody else like to comment on the amendments to the Albany County zoning resolution aquifer protection overlay zone? Go ahead, Chris. Good morning. Chris Moody.
Good morning, and thank you for accepting public comment on the APOZ amendments. I provided some written comments to the commissioners and the planner directly yesterday, so it's not part of your packet. They're via direct email. There have been multiple studies conducted by the city and the county that have demonstrated that residential septic systems can and have impacted the water quality of the Casper Aquifer. and in particular nitrate, which is used as a general indicator of impact. Now, the cumulative impact from over 50 years of small lot, 1 through 2 acres, and rural residential lot 5 acre development, 50 years of septic systems on the aquifer has resulted in elevated concentrations of nitrate. And I want to stress the idea of cumulative. It's the year by year addition of septic systems and the drip by drip, literally, of septic effluent into the aquifer that is causing changes in water quality. And residential subdivision developments and their associated septic systems will continue. Obviously, will continue to be proposed on the APOZ. And these are, probably 1 to 5 acre proposed lots. So we'll just keep marching to the east. And I just want to stress that I think now this APO amendment is the time to limit the number of additional septic systems on the APOZ going forward. One of the ideas that Ms. Gorin introduced that I think is a primary consideration in this amendment, that I strongly support the idea of a 35 acre minimum lot size on the APOZ going forward, and that should be part of the amendment for consideration, in addition to what the planning department has already put in front of you. So I see that as the primary topic for the commissioners and the planner to look very closely at is a large lot, 35 acre minimum limitation in the APOZ. So thank you very much, and best of luck.
Thank you, Chris. Have a good day.
You too.
Would anybody else like to speak on the aquifer protection overlay zone amendments? Yeah, go ahead, Fern. Good morning.
Get my buttons all straightened out here. Okay, thanks, sir. Vern Hinckley. I'm an Albany County resident. I live at 508 South 11th. I have provided extensive comments in written form, and I'll spare you repeating everything here, but I would be happy to take questions on any of that if you've had a chance to go through that and have any questions. For this hearing, I'll cut right to the chase. The 2 most important changes I'm recommending: 1, establish a 35 acre minimum lot size within the APOZ. The APOZ is an overlay zone. It retains all aspects of the underlying county-wide zoning, then adds special provisions to reflect the fact that this specific area supplies drinking water to about 87% of Albany County residents. While 2 and 5 acre zoning may be good for all across the rest of the county, it makes sense to look at something more protective in this special little piece of the county. A study was recently completed for the city that looked at aquifer water quality if the APOZ were fully developed at various densities. Now, that seems like a pretty extreme scenario, particularly to us simple Wyoming folks, houses running clear up the side of the hill to the horizon. But in fairness, all you got to do is visit our Colorado neighbors, and you'll see that that is a very real possibility, that the residential tsunami is headed our way. So it's real. That study concluded that we would exceed the federal health standards for nitrates at 5 acre development, and that we would be at 3 or 4 times the background concentrations even at 35 acre development. The County Aquifer Protection Plan identifies large lot zoning as an appropriate strategy for aquifer protection and suggests 35 acres as a minimum lot size. We should pick up on that thought and write into regulation what's basically our comprehensive plan recommendation for large lot zoning as an appropriate strategy for aquifer protection. And that would be, as I say, 35 acre minimum lot size. Okay, number 2, move the western boundary. Back in 2001, the county adopted specific hydrogeologic criteria to define the boundary as recommended by a full cast of professional geologists and engineers. That's the 75-foot requirement you've all heard about. There was an initial attempt to draw a line on a map that honored that criteria, and that became the county boundary. Since then, there have been a bunch of errors discovered. including places outside the APOZ where there is zero overlying formation. So that boundary line is not doing what the county intended it to do in terms of aquifer protection. The western boundary, secondly, the western boundary line of the APOZ was never surveyed. It's just a line drawn on a map. I was visiting with County Planning Director David Gertsch the other day, who offered, we don't really even know where the boundary line is exactly, and that's problematic for any kind of a regulation. The city solved both of these problems in 2008 by redefining the line at a location west of the present county line and having it follow established survey lines. The delineation of the boundary was reviewed and endorsed by 3 Wyoming registered professional geologists, which is consistent with the county requirements for moving the line. I'm not asking anyone on this panel to play expert here and risk being attacked for practicing geology without a license. My recommendation.
I would do that. We're not commenting on the current regulations. You're offering new ones, and it would be kind of nice if we just kept the comments to the current regulation changes. And then this conversation could happen at the next work session.
Mr. Chairman, through you, Commissioner Richardson, you have opened up the comments on the proposed regulations. This is in fact part of the proposed regulations. I'm proposing that as part of your regulation revision, you adopt both minimum lot size and a change of the boundary as you define the APOZ. It's like the first section of the regulations. My recommendation is for the county to conform its APOZ western boundary with the APOZ western boundary developed by the city. One aquifer, one boundary. We're all county residents. Let's all start singing from the same book. Thank you, and I'd be happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Bern. And commissioners, if you just remind you that the 3 minutes is for the community to speak, please, if you have something to say it afterwards. Would anybody else like to make a public comment about the aquifer protection overlay zones?
Yes, I would.
Yes, go ahead, Jamie. Thank you.
Thank you so much for entertaining. Good morning, for entertaining public comment. We really appreciate it. I'm Jamie Egoff, and I live at 159 North 6. I'm just around the block from you. And I really appreciate the fact that you are going over these regulations. When 40% of the world's water is contaminated, you have at your fingertips the opportunity to make wise choices. And we can see that in Colorado, water is going to be an extremely important issue, and it already is in many other states. I just urge you to be careful on with determining what is above the aquifer and make wise choices and make sure that there are technical ways to measure what is in the water. And I did provide you with some written comments, so that's really all I have to say now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jamie. Have a great day.
You too.
Would anybody else like to make a comment about the aquifer protection overlay zone? Go to the room here. Does anybody here in the room like to make a comment about the aquifer protection overlay zone? Okay, last call for the amendments to the Albany County Zoning Resolution Aquifer Protection Overlay Zone. Go ahead, yeah, Maura. Good morning. Floor is yours.
Good morning. I'm trying to unmute and can you hear me okay?
We've got you loud and clear. Thank you.
Great. Thanks for taking comment this morning. And I just want to be clear, I'm commenting as a citizen, not in any way representing the County Planning and Zoning Commission that I'm grateful that you appointed me to. I guess I would like to echo all the previous comments that you've heard. I guess my comments have a little more to do with the procedure that you have in front of you, because I think you have some fairly flawed amendments in front of you, and it seems like your choice is to go through and offer amendments to it yourself to get it to a point where a majority could approve it, or you could deny the whole thing and go back to the drawing board. And since anyone can propose amendments to the zoning resolution, you as a group, along with the people that you've been coordinating with at the city, could as a group submit what your vision is for the APOZ amendments. I know that's another time-consuming process, and I know Ms. Gorin pointed out time is of the essence, but it looks like you have a fairly gnarly process in front of you to offer up amendments to the existing amendments, which is why I failed to submit written comments to you. I sat down and started working on it, and it was a perilous thing because you have to amend what's in front of you to be how you want it to be for a majority to vote on it, and that looks like a daunting task. So that's all I wanted to offer up, or just the procedural viewpoint. Thank you.
Thank you, Maura. Have a great day. Anybody else like to comment? David, do you see anybody? Oh, yeah, Connor. Good morning, Connor. Floor is yours.
Good morning, commissioners. My name is Connor Mullen. I live here in Laramie. I submitted comments last night, so they won't be in your packet, but I wanted to lend my voice to the community members that are advocating for better regulations and better protection of the aquifer, both at the hearing today and in the months and years of public comments and emails and discussions prior. I do not support the proposed regulations from the Planning and Zoning Commission, as I do not feel that those regulations are sufficiently crafted. I would echo the recommendations and comments that were made before me today, and just thank you so much for taking public comment today.
Thank you, Connor. Have a great day. Nancy Sindelar, the floor is yours. Good morning, Nancy. Yeah, I've got you muted, Nancy.
Okay, thank you, Chairman Gosar. My concern is with seeing the purchase with the intent to subdivide land as a property right as compared to a business transaction. If a manufacturer purchases materials, hires help, and produces a product, that's business. If a person purchases land anticipating putting a access road in and going through the county process so that they can subdivide it and sell off lots, that is a business proposition, not a property rights issue. The subdivision of land for profit that endangers all of our water supply, that's it right there. We can't endanger our water supply just so that a person can profit through the manufacturing of small lots. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Have a great day. Anybody else? Last call for comments to the amendments to the Albany County Zoning Resolution Aquifer Protection Overlay Zone. Shane Sims, go ahead. Good morning, Shane. The floor is yours.
Good morning. I thank you for taking my comment and those of other people in the public. I actually live in the county, but I like to emphasize what someone else said about how we actually all live in the county, and that idea of one aquifer, one shared water source, and with that in mind, I would just encourage the consideration of having scientifically verified appropriate boundaries for the APOZ, as well as, like others have mentioned, being mindful of future growth and being really forward thinking with these regulations in terms of cumulative impacts. So things that have already been said before, I would just like to lend my voice to them and recognize that it's a complicated task, but a very important one for our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Shane. Have a great morning. Next up, Councilor Gabriel. Go ahead, Pat, the floor is yours.
Thanks very much, Mr. Chairman. I was just wondering if this would be the proper time to bring everybody up to speed on our city-county working group on the Casper Aquifer Protection Plan. Just a real brief statement on where we are.
Sure, go on ahead, Pat. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Right after the first of the year, the city-county decided that it would be a good idea to put together a working group to update the CAP, which hasn't been done now for 9 years. And we have been meeting several times. I believe it's 4 times so far, a couple of times with the city planning department, a couple of times with the county planning department, city water specialist Aaron Parkin. And we decided to get the 2 attorneys together from the city and county to put together a memorandum of understanding on the CAP that would go to the commission and council for approval. The CAP hasn't, as I mentioned, hasn't been updated now for 9 years. And we feel that with the new information from aerial studies that Dr. Carr has done from UW, now is a great time to update the CAP. The idea is to have a consultant who would hold a number of public hearings over a number of months, come in and then put together recommendations that the city and county could possibly agree on. So right now we're still in the preliminary stages, and we hope to have the 2 attorneys get together as soon as possible. I know there's a little change coming from the county standpoint. So in talking with the city attorney, we decided that as soon as we can get together the 2 attorneys to get together a memorandum of understanding, that would be the next step in this process. And we certainly look forward to working with the county on an update to the CAP. And I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Councilmember Gabriel. I appreciate the update. And thanks to the staff and the people working in that group from both the city and the county. Everybody needs one more meeting each week. And so thank you for being willing to do that. Anybody else like to make a comment about the Albany County Zoning Resolution Aquifer Protection Overlay Zone? Last call. Comments for the Aquifer Protection Overlay Zone. Commissioners, I'd entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to apologize to the chair. I thought Vern Hinckley was asking a real question, not a rhetorical one.
Yeah.
I move that we close the public hearing.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you all for being willing to entertain that and for giving us your expertise and thoughts. I'd like to move to item 4, comments from the public. I'd open up the floor for comments from the public. County Attorney Trent, good morning. The floor is yours.
Good morning, Albany County Commissioners. Today, I'm informing the Albany County Commissioners that I've accepted employment out of state and will be vacating my elected position as the Albany County and Prosecuting Attorney effective today, Tuesday, May 4th at 5 p.m. It has been a pleasure to serve Albany County as the 2nd woman county attorney since the formation of Albany County, Wyoming in 1869. During my time in office, I have led major initiatives for criminal justice reform in Albany County, as well as for the state of Wyoming, through many community partnerships, which have increased accountability and transparency of the criminal justice system in the county since 2014. I have been fortunate to work with some of the highest achievers in our community who share the same vision for Albany County to help our vulnerable populations. Some of the accomplishments include: we work to expand and move the victim witness unit to the Albany County Attorney's Office, where we provide the same level of services in both the city and county to victims and witnesses. We created the Special Victims Unit with the dedication of a deputy attorney for prosecution of violent offenses. We increased education, case reviews, and develop protocols for sexual assaults and domestic violence cases. In the Albany County Attorney's Office, we've increased prosecution of violent crimes, including sexual assaults, domestic violence, strangulation, and enforcement of protection orders. One of my major initiatives was to work for the creation of the Community Juvenile Service Board to bring together representatives from the county, town of Rock River, Albany County School District, Ivinson Memorial Hospital, City of Laramie, and other juvenile stakeholders to work together with the juvenile justice system in the county to promote a broad range of effective, evidence-informed services representing a continuum of care designed to promote the healthy development of youth and families in Albany County. I created a single point of entry in the Albany County Attorney's Office for all juvenile criminal matters where juvenile criminal stakeholders come together on how offenses committed by juveniles should be addressed through the use of protocols with a decision matrix. Additionally, we worked with the local DFS for the implementation of a child protection team for abuse and neglected cases. We worked for the creation of an integrated juvenile program to address substance abuse with youth and provide an intensive outpatient program to avoid the removal of juveniles from their homes in our community. We implemented standards to avoid the removal of juveniles from homes and families and provide safe placement in our community. We expanded the juvenile diversion program to address truancy and divert juveniles from the adult and juvenile systems in which 98% of cases are now diverted. We created an adult diversion program for adults 18 to 25-year-old. And I'm proud to say I'm leaving behind a team of highly trained trial lawyers in the Albany County Attorney's Office. I established a team and a victim-centered approach to criminal prosecution, dramatically increasing successful prosecution of criminal offenses through jury trials. Our conviction rate has dramatically improved. We collaborated to establish practices and policies with law enforcement for charging cases, as well as for prosecution of criminal offenses to ensure the constitutional rights of defendants are protected. My office established an electronic discovery system for sharing of evidence with defense attorneys. The Albany County Attorney's Office has digitized city, civil, and criminal records from 1980 to present with a new operational system. We partnered with the juvenile justice system for new legislation on child abuse to include child abuse for confinement of juveniles, expungement of juvenile records, and joint agreement with Juvenile Service Board, and most recently, the push for legislation for adult diversion programs. We implemented a criminal case management system to integrate with LARC, which is your dispatch, and with the ability to share information with law enforcement agencies. We've implemented a juvenile database with the ability of stakeholders in the juvenile system to share information. The Albany County now generates weekly reports of caseloads and tracking of cases, as well as report cards as to the effectiveness of juvenile programs. During my tenure, the Albany County Attorney's Office has increased representation to all 13 county departments, 7 elected officials, county commissioners, and boards, including Fair and Library Board, which were never represented prior to my first term. I've standardized contracts, resolutions, the bidding system, and the development of regulations and policies for county operations. Most recently, we developed the civil unit within the county attorney's office and have implemented a legal request system with a proactive legal approach of legal advice. I've led the effort to work for a creation of an Albany County Mental Health Board, bringing together representatives from the county, from Ivinson Memorial Hospital, Peak Wellness, City of Laramie, and other mental health stakeholders to work together to facilitate better communication, addressing gaps in service of mentally ill, and ensure equality and the continuity of care for the mentally ill. And I want to make sure also equality of mental health services within the criminal and juvenile justice system. We worked on development of directed outpatient program for mentally ill and the establishment of protocols. We implemented case reviews of suicides and established the ultimate Albany County gatekeeper. Recently, we're partnering with UW to establish a UW gatekeeper and methods to keep mentally ill individuals out of our Albany County Detention Center and get the needed services without involuntary commitment and incarceration of defendants. And I want to end by mentioning my invaluable partnership with the University of Wyoming. We established an intern-extern program to provide experiential learning for both undergraduate and law school students to partner with the Albany County Attorney's Office to learn best practices in the field. We now have an intern-extern program that extends from high school to college through law school students. And I'm proud to say some of these interns are now licensed practicing attorneys in my office. Additionally, I have partnered with multiple UW faculty members to collaborate on research projects and initiatives important to our community. There is much more to accomplish and achieve in our changing times, and I leave behind an outstanding group of attorneys, staff members, and community partners. I thank them all for their dedication and support. The foundation to move forward has been established through my time in the office, and I believe the Albany County Attorney's Office is poised for continued success. I appreciate the kindness, the friendships, the tears and laughter we have shared over the years and wish the best for Albany County. Peggy Trent, thank you. Commissioners, I also want to tell you probably one of the best flattering comments I got today as I was getting ready to move in here from my office was I overheard a conversation I had received. Just so you know, I'm the type that will work to the bitter end till 5 o'clock today. I received information that we have a grant available for our victim witness. One of my dreams was always to have a portal for victims to go in to get information. And I just sent the request, I think, the other day, and my staff had already picked up on it through Bailey to go and get that grant so we can have a portal from our victims. I am confident my staff is going to continue, our staff, to continue with whatever initiatives have been implemented. And I feel confident moving on that the next county attorney will take it to the next level. But I thank you from the bottom of my heart for this opportunity to serve the public. I know that I would respectfully ask that you place on your agenda, on your next item, to add and accept my letter of resignation. Also, we have prepared, similar to what we did with Sheriff O'Malley, a resolution in order to accept my resignation. There's a resolution as to the process, how it would go out to the Democrat Party for the next opportunity for them within 15 days of sending a letter. And we also place the letter that goes out for your approval. So I'd ask that those items be included on your agenda as well. Thank you.
So Peggy, thank you so much for your time, commitment, and especially with juvenile justice. In my other job, often mental illness is charged as a crime. And I think your office reflected the idea that it isn't. I appreciate your work with juvenile justice, with drug court, with adult diversions. I think those are far-sighted, and your pursuit of them with such passion started us down the road. Hopefully we'll end that road in a better place. I'm sure we will. Thank you for your time and your commitment to this county. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And with that, I'm going to turn over my chair to Jennifer Kern, who will continue in your representation as your civil attorney. Thank you.
Thank you. Pat, I see you have your hand up. Go on ahead. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to express on behalf of the city of Laramie appreciation to Ms. Trent for her service to the city and her great accomplishments. As she talked about this morning with Albany County, it was just outstanding to hear all of those great things that have been accomplished through the county attorney's office. But we also want to express appreciation from the city for all of her years of service. And she's done a great job with legal advice to the city of Laramie as well. So thank you, Ms. Trent, and the best of luck in your next endeavor.
Thanks, Councilor Gabriel. I appreciate it. Are there any other additional public comments? I'd entertain a motion to close the public comments.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 5, disclosures. Commissioner Ibarra, any disclosures?
I have none.
Commissioner Richardson, any?
I have.
And I have none either. Item 6, considerations of changes to the agenda. I think I heard in there acceptance of the resignation letter, where should we put that?
Chairman Gosar, there are 2 resolutions.
Okay.
One of them is the acceptance of Peg's resignation, which has as exhibits to it a copy of her letter that she just gave you, which wasn't included because we didn't have that yesterday. And the second one is a draft of the letter to go to the Democratic Party. And then the second resolution is to establish just the time frame, like we did with Sheriff O'Malley, for the process, the questions, those kinds of things.
So could we put those resolutions back to back at 35A and 35B? And then I believe there's a temporary assistance for needy families that we need to have the commission, since the emergency rental assistance program has begun. TAMP will be reducing the amount of money that they will give to rental assistance. In fact, I think they're eliminating it. So we'll reduce that, our requests from the state. That is a tight time line, and we don't have those numbers yet, but I was hopeful that this commission would be able to approve a lesser amount unseen and give me the authority to sign, and then we'll ratify it at the next meeting, because the tight timeline is such that we won't have another meeting. So could we put that at 35C?
I also have one more for your consideration,
Okay.
Commissioner Gosar.
Sure.
I was contacted last week by Tammy Powell, and with Diane Packett's vacation that we did in the legal description, she and I missed a call. And so I have a corrective quick claim deed. It doesn't change the size or anything that we've given her. It just corrects that legal description so there won't be issues going forward.
Okay.
So if we could add that also for your review and signature, I have copies.
All right, we've got something for 35D.
Thank you.
Yeah. Did you get that, Jackie? All those, thank you so much.
Thanks.
You bet. Oops.
Sorry. Now we're back.
Thank you. Any other further changes to the agenda? Item number 7, I entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 8, onto the regular agenda. Request for financial support for the Albany County Historic Preservation Board for an event on May 22nd, 2021, highlighting the Latino influence in Albany County by donating $200 to the Cocoa radio station located in the Civic Center. This is part of the History Month to inform attendees of the public engagement activity centered around our historical strategic plan development for the county. And I saw Karen Bard. Karen, good morning, and the floor is yours. Go on ahead, please.
Hi, thank you, commissioners. So this is a small request. We have been participating in the History Month for the past couple of years. Normally, the Civic Center or the Cocoa radio station, in order to see the Paredes Hablando mural that is in their area, they normally charge a $600 fee. So we're very happy with the $200 donation that they are requesting. More importantly, we want this event to go forward from the standpoint that we would like to utilize it as a public engagement to bring people in to participate in our surveys and information gathering for our historic strategic preservation plan. So I'm just requesting that we get some additional funding, as the funding in our reserves is quite low.
Thank you, Karen. Commissioners, any questions? I'd entertain a motion for item number 8.
For the amount of $200 donation as part of the disconnect donation to the public
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by, oh, looks like they, yeah.
Can I add that it be paid from miscellaneous uncompleted funds in 1%?
Yeah. All right, nice find that. Okay. Thank you, Jackie. Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, all those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thanks, Karen. I appreciate it. Thanks for your work on this. Item 9, present for consideration the Medicine Bow River Ranch conditional use application CU-02-21. Joe, good morning.
Morning, Commissioners. The applicant is Occidental Construction. The project is in the northeast quarter of Section 27, Township 21 North, Range 77 West. The request is for conditional use to add a gravel pit. Current zoning is agricultural. Current use is a wind farm. Surrounding properties are zoned agricultural, except for one parcel that the parcel wraps around, which is zoned rural residential. And the property can be accessed off of a Lucky Star Wind Farm access road. Albany County Road Bridge Department had no concerns. Laramie Rivers Conservation District, Laura McGinley, wants to make sure that groundwater and air contamination as well as soil erosion issues are taken care of. YDOT has a road use agreement with Lucky Star Wind Farm that includes requirements for hauling aggregates to windmill sites. And they recommend they review the agreement with Lucky Star. Wyoming Game and Fish Department, Amanda Loesch, at 3 points. The first being that there's a raptor nest to the southwest of the project area. And the applicant should consult the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service concerning the stipulations that may be associated with the nest. The second point was that there is a signed monitoring plan between Lucky Star Wind Farm, the affected landowners, and Wyoming Game and Fish. Timing of the project should be coordinated with a local biologist, and activity associated with the project should follow the guidance outlined in the monitoring plan for the Lucky Star Wind Energy Project, Albany and Carbon Counties, Wyoming. And the final point was that the department recommends as part of the reclamation plan treating noxious and invasive annual grasses that may become established in the project area during the life of the project. And the full email is attached. Notice has been provided by posted sign, publication, and certified mail as required. The applicant has provided the required site plans and/or survey. The proposed conditional use shall not harm the public health, safety, and welfare. Adequate public services are available for the proposed conditional use without creating an undue financial burden to the county. And the applicant has addressed all the following impacts. I'm just going to point out a few. Air quality. Occidental Construction will be required to adhere to requirements of its Wyoming DEQ Air Quality Division air permit assigned to the mining operation. The application is currently under review by DEQ AQD. Water quality. Occidental Construction will be required to adhere to requirements of its Wyoming DEQ Water Quality Division storm water discharge permit assigned to the mining operation. This authorization permit has been issued. General nuisances, the mining operations will be conducted during daylight hours to eliminate nuisance, light, and glare. Any light source that may be required will be shielded to direct light downward. Fugitive dust will be controlled at the source with water spray suppression. Noise and other airborne nuisance from mining operation is expected to be minimal due to the distance location from residences and public roadways. Traffic, the planned ingress to the proposed mine is on Wyoming Highway 13, 2.25 miles southwest of Highway US 30 and Wyoming Highway 13 intersection. From this point, travel will be on a planned wind farm road for 4.5 miles to the mine site. Once mining equipment is mobilized to the site, any mine-related traffic will be concentrated in the area of the mine and the wind tower sites using the mine aggregate. Mine traffic will not impact public access roads. Findings of fact. The findings necessary for approval as listed in this report are incorporated herein as findings of fact. The property is currently zoned agricultural. A zoning certificate application is required for the proposed office building. The applicant wants to have a gravel pit to supply aggregate for the proposed Lucky Star wind farm. The applicant has provided a complete application and has addressed the potential impacts this use may cause. Conclusions of law, the applicant is proceeding in accordance with the requirements of the Albany County zoning resolution. Staff analysis, impacts to the surrounding area will be minimal. The applicant has provided information that ensures that the impacts and usages will be minimum. This project is going to be used to supply aggregate for the Lucky Star wind farm. U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services should be consulted about the raptor nest. Guidelines outlined in the monitoring plan for the Lucky Star Wind Energy Project, Albany and Carbon Counties, Wyoming, should be followed. The applicant has turned in a zoning certificate for the proposed office on their site. If a small wastewater system is contemplated on the property as part of the project, the applicant must apply and get approval of a small wastewater system permit. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation is to approve the Medicine Bow River Ranch conditional use application CU 0221 based upon and incorporating the findings of fact and conclusions of law as stated in the staff report.
Commissioners, any questions for Joe?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Commissioner Bear.
Joe, to your knowledge, have the concerns been addressed about the raptor nest with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife?
I am not sure. I believe David should be on the call, so maybe he can answer that. He is on the call.
David Hornbeck?
Yes.
Mr. Hornbeck, could you, did you hear the question and could you answer that for us, please? Good morning. We still have you muted, Mr. Hornbeck. Are you with us? There you go. The floor is yours. Still can't hear you. Could you try to get closer to your microphone? That might be the issue. I'm not sure. Yeah, you can't hear him, Joe. You don't happen to have Mr. Hornbeck's number on your phone?
I do not.
Okay.
I know at the planning and zoning meeting, we had an issue with this too, and he had to call in, so.
Yeah.
So you might ask him to just call. Do we have a number?
Oh, where's my hand?
Oh, there you go.
David, could you call back at 307? 721-5529. 307-721-5529. We can't hear you even though it's showing you're unmuted.
Are you able to hear me now?
Oh yeah, got you now.
It's my computer. I've moved to another computer within our office, so I'm on the screen for George Ruska.
Okay. The floor is yours.
Yes, that's it. With as far as the Raptor's Nest, we did submit a letter of review, if you will, to that is who we will be working with in conjunction. Make sure we do not disturb that raptor nest if there's any time constraints or anything like that. That is in process, and we'll just kind of, as we go forward with the project, will be done incrementally. But we are aware we have any go ahead with any of the warnings. We're aware of that with Wyoming fish. kind of a lengthy explanation, but I hope that covers what you're asking about.
Thank you.
Commissioner Barrett, any further? Commissioner Richardson, anything? Commissioners, I entertain a motion for item number 9.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the Medicine Bow River Ranch conditional use application based upon and incorporating the findings of fact and conclusion of law stated in the staff report.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Joe. Item 10, present for consideration the Peterson Land Use Change Application LUC-03-21. Joe, you're back up.
I am. The applicant is Matt and Heidi Peterson. Location is 93 Stevenson Road. The request is to change zoning from agricultural to rural residential. Current use is residential with one dwelling unit currently existing. The property can be accessed off of Stevenson Road. There were 5 reviews and no one had any concerns. Notice has been provided by posted sign, publication, and certified mail as required. The applicant has provided the required site plan and/or survey. The proposed zoning change generally follows the suggestion of the Albany County Comprehensive Plan, including but not limited to the long range growth plan and priority growth areas. This property is in priority growth area 4. The applicant has addressed all of the required potential impacts. There was just one staff comment. If any wastewater systems need to be installed, wastewater will need to be dealt with according to the Albany County wastewater regulations. The findings of fact, the findings necessary for approval as listed in this report are incorporated here as findings of fact. The property is currently zoned agricultural. The property is in priority growth area 4. The applicant wants to make this lot into a 2-lot subdivision, which will require a rural residential zoning. Upon acceptance of this proposal, the Board of County Commissioners may hear the staff report for the Champs subdivision application. The application has provided a complete application and addressed the potential impacts this may cause. The applicant is proceeding in accordance with the requirements of the Albany County zoning resolution. Impacts to the surrounding area will be minimum. The applicant has provided information that ensures impacts and nuisances will be minimum. If the application is accepted, the Champs subdivision application may be heard. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation is to approve the Peterson Land Use Change Application LUC-0321 based upon and incorporating the findings of fact and conclusions of law as stated in the staff report.
Any questions, commissioners? Entertain a motion for item 10, please.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the Peterson Land Use Change Application LUC-0321, incorporating the findings of fact and conclusions of law.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 11, present for consideration the Champ subdivision preliminary and final plat and subdivision permit application SD-0221. Joe again.
All right. The applicant and owner are Matt and Heidi Peterson. Location is 93 Stevenson Road. The request is approval of preliminary and final plats and subdivision permit. Current use is residential. Access is off of Stevenson Road, an existing road, and this application will be reviewed as a small subdivision. There were 5 reviews and all concerns were addressed. The property is a priority growth area 4. There is an existing well on the proposed lot 1. Future development on lot 2 would require a new well. Proposed lot 1 is currently served by an existing septic system. Future development on lot 2 will require a new approved septic system. A storm drainage report was complete for this proposal and reviewed by Bill Gorman, county engineer. Electric power is existing in the area. Rocky Mountain Power currently provides service to the existing home on proposed lot 1. Future development on lot 2 would require new electrical service. No telephone services in the existing area and no natural gas service is existing in the area either. U.S. Postal Service is existing in the area and the post office will provide service to all new lots. Notice has been provided in accordance with the Albany County Planning and Subdivision Regulations. Findings of fact. The summary of subdivision requirements listed in the staff report shall be incorporated as findings of fact. The application qualifies to be reviewed as a small lot subdivision in accordance with the ACPSR. The preliminary and final plats comply with the standards. The property is zoned agricultural. The property is in priority growth area 4. Fire safety requirements have been waived by the fire warden. The applicant is proceeding in accordance with the requirements of the Albany County Planning and Subdivision Regulations. This subdivision is being proposed in an area that has previously been developed into a residential community. The lots will be accessed from Stevenson Road. The addition of one lot in this area should not create any substantial impacts to the area. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation is approval of the preliminary and final plats and a subdivision permit for the Champ subdivision preliminary and final plat application SD 0221, based upon and incorporating the findings of fact and conclusions of law as stated in the staff report.
Commissioners, any questions for Joe? Entertain a motion for item 11, please.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the Champ subdivision preliminary and final plat and subdivision permit application SD 0221. Incorporating the findings of fact and conclusions of law.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item 12, present for consideration amendments to the Albany County's zoning resolution, Aquifer Protection Overlay Zone. David, good morning.
Morning, Chairman, Commissioners. So the Planning and Zoning Commission certified a recommendation of approval of amendments to the Aquifer Protection Overlay Zone in the Albany County zoning resolution on February 10th, 2021. So just a brief summary of what the changes were that were made. On page 2, they added a definition of best available control technology. Page 3 clarifies the definition of the Aquifer Protection Overlay Zone. Page 4, there's corrects a reference and deletes the process to request for inclusion into the Aquifer Protection Overlay Zone. Pages 10 through 15 creates an Aquifer Protection Overlay Zone development permit, includes an approval process, criteria for approval, including the site-specific investigation and exemptions to the permit requirements. On page 15, they removed system repair and tank removal from the needed PE design requirement that a new system must follow. And then pages 16 through 19 overhauls the current non-conforming use standards specified in the Aquifer Protection Overlay Zone regulations. So the hearing scheduled for today was published on March 6, 2021 in the Laramie Boomerang, and the proposed amendments have been available on the Albany County website for public consumption. So, so that's what you have before you. What you would like to do is up to you.
Commissioners, any questions for David?
No questions.
I'd entertain a motion for item 12. Then.
Actually, feeling that the regulations or the recommended amendments to the regulations concerning the Aquifer Protection Overlay Zone, I would like to suggest or propose that we have a work session to consider the current regs and to consider all the public comments that we have received as possible amendments to these regs.
Mr. Richardson, any thoughts?
As a point of process, if we were to do that, we would start the whole process over again, right? Because this was a public hearing on these current regs. So whatever we decide to do, we start the whole process over again. Does that make sense?
The 45-day comment period and then a public hearing process.
Well, drafting, right, then comment, then
public hearing.
The public hearing and, you know.
Right, but it could just stay with this. It wouldn't have to return to the planning and zoning.
Right.
well, who would draft the changes?
Well, we could work on a work session with David and using the public comments to be the pieces.
Are you saying that it's your intention to bypass the planning commission?
Oh, no, they've had these for 2 years.
No, but I mean the amendments. Is it the intention to bypass the planning commission by making amendments and starting the process again without their participation?
No, I think the intention is to follow the process. So if you remember that these went to the planning and zoning some years ago, sat for a while, and then we asked when we started this commission in January to have them send them to us. They sent them to us. Goes out to public comment, which was what we're finishing up today, and then it is our duty to follow up on that. Now, if we wanted to send them to the planning and zoning, we could. I don't know what point that would be because they've had 2 years to work on it. So I think it's up to us to do this or do something different. This continual loop, I want to end because years and years we've been working on this and we need to have something finished. David, would you have any thoughts on that? Is that the process as you understand it, as I explained it?
Yeah, I'd have to defer to Jennifer on that. I mean, I don't know. I've had my opinions, but I've talked with the county attorney's office too. So
yeah,
I'll go.
I don't have an answer for you. I need to do some research because I'm not certain. I know that the statute says that it's certified to you by planning and zoning, but I'm not certain what the process is if you make substantial amendments to it after it's been certified by planning and zoning. So I can do that research and get back to you prior to the next meeting or prior to the work session, whichever you're going to do, so that we have a clear direction.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate you doing that work. I think you're a recommending body, and we're ultimately the deciding body. And so, but that certainty would be useful. I think just put this one to rest.
I will do that.
So a work session, either way, that's going to be something we need. I'd like to do it sooner rather than later. How about next Tuesday? We have a agenda meeting at 3 to 4, but we could meet in the morning, 9 to noon, or whatever we needed, 9 till 3.
We make it a little bit later. I've got some obligations at the clinic.
Okay, so 10, 11?
10 should work.
Is Tuesday a better day?
The health insurance management team meets at 10 o'clock next Tuesday.
Okay. How about, let's see, what does your Monday look like?
I'm good in the morning.
Okay, let's, can we start at 8 o'clock on Monday morning? Or just shortly thereafter, 8:15 or so? And then we'll go to 12:15, 12:30. Hopefully we can get something finished by that. And then I think the strategy that might be useful, David, is just to go section by section, finish it however we want, or approve them as we want. And then we'll have something at the end, hopefully. Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
All right. Put that in my calendar. Thank you.
Yeah.
8 a.m. Okay, thank you all. Item 13, present for approval, directive to publish amendments. Yes, excuse me. Present for approval, directive to publish amendments to the Albany County zoning resolution requiring special standards for development of property within the dedication plat of Centennial and set a public hearing. David, please. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, So this was originally a request from the Board of County Commissioners to look at how we could avoid some of the problems that we've had with encroachment in the right of ways and on other people's properties in the Centennial Plat. The plat was created many years ago. And I don't think topography was taken into account in some of those things. And over the years, a lot of encroachments have happened. But going forward, we would like to obviously to create a better regulation so that this encroachment doesn't happen in the future. And so the planning office, with the help of the county attorney's office, drafted amendments to the permitting process that will better regulate the issue of the encroachment in this area. And it's basically a addition of an actual survey and the locations of the property or the building that will go on the property so that we can see that it's going to be on the property. And at this point, we are just asking for your directive to publish the amendments and schedule a public hearing for July 6th.
Thank you, David. Commissioners, any questions for David?
No questions, but being the editor I am, I wanted to point out some just maybe typos or anyway, edits, if I may.
Sure.
David, on section 4 site plan, under B purpose, B1 purpose, it should read, this subsection creates standards to ensure property owners make improvements, no apostrophe S. It's just plural owners.
Oh, take out the apostrophe.
Let's see. Avoid encroachment into public areas. Okay, let me see where else. Okay, the dedication plat of Centennial was filed in 1901 and ignored the extreme topography in the area. Period. The lots within this subdivision are very small and many of the roads were never built. I think that's it.
Perfect. We'll make those changes before we publish.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Commissioner Richardson, anything? I'd entertain a motion for item 13.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we I move that we direct to the publishing of the amendments to the Albany County zoning resolution requiring special standards for development of property within the dedication plat of Centennial and set a public hearing for how long does the comment period?
I think it's July 6th, David is.
Yeah, so we'll set it at July 6th.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, David, and thank you, Joe. 14, present for approval additions to the employee handbook to include clarification and benefits of drug testing. Don't know that Christine is going to be on, or I even expected her. So looks like you, Jennifer, I guess.
It
Thank
can
you.
be me today. So 14 is to add the clarification to page 21 of the handbook to say that if a prospective employee fails to show up for a scheduled drug test, that drug test is counted as a positive test and they're not eligible for hire at the county. So that's all that one is.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions? I'd entertain a motion for item number 14.
I move that we approve item 14 as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 15, present for approval additions to the employee handbook to include clarification of employee classifications. Jennifer, thank you.
You're welcome. This These changes are to pages 24, 30, and 33 of the handbook. And what they do is clarify that unless you work more than 30 hours, you are not entitled to benefits through your county position. But what it clarifies is that unless it's statutorily required that we pay your benefits. So if you have, specifically the one that comes to mind is our public health officer who works less than 40 hours or who on occasion works less than 40 hours, that she can be paid benefits for working less than that because it is statutorily required. Oh, it also includes the fire warden. Sorry about that. Although when we have years like this last year, if you averaged him out, he's probably way higher than he needs to be.
Commissioners, any questions? Jennifer, it says we may, I think, or is it we shall offer employee benefits? Thank you.
It says that it shall be offered to employees whose positions are statutorily required. Doesn't mean they necessarily have to accept it,
right.
but it shall be offered to those positions that are statutorily created.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Commissioners, I entertain a motion for item 15.
I move that we approve the additions to the employee handbook to include clarification of the employee classifications.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same side. Motion carries. Item 16, present for approval additions to the Human Resource Policy and Procedure Manual to include clarifications of benefits and drug testing. Same stuff.
Again, this is the same thing. It adds those changes and it also adds some language that if an employee is involved in an accident, that for the next 90 days, they're subjected to have the potential to be subjected to more drug testing.
Commissioners, item 16, unless you have any questions.
I move that we approve item 16 as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same side. Motion carries. Item 17, acknowledge receipt and distribution of the U.S. Forest Reserve funds based on the Secure Rural Schools and Community Self-Determination Act of 2000 after federal 5.70% sequestrations for the fiscal year 2020-2021 in the amount of $255,286.10 for Title I and direct the clerk to advertise Title III funds in the amount of $21,023.56 for proposed authorized county projects. Tracy, good morning.
Good morning, commissioners. This is our annual Forest Reserve distribution that we get for the Secure Rural Schools Act. And it includes Title I monies, which is the total of the Title I before sequestration is $270,000, $270,716.96. I'm an accountant. I'm learning to talk today. Sorry. Of that 85%, 95% of that 85% goes towards our road and bridge to help offset road costs. And the other 5% of that goes to the Albany County School District. And it's all in, the breakdown is in your agenda packet as well. Title II is retained by the state and that goes towards the RAC. And they pay any expenses that they incur on that level. And then the Title III is generally retained here. And historically, it's been split between Albany County Sheriff's Office and the fire warden equally for them. The Sheriff's Office can use it for search and rescue equipment and projects of that nature. And the fire warden can use it for the community-wide or community-wise fire safety programs. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Commissioners, any questions?
I have none.
Entertain a motion for 17.
I move that we approve, that we acknowledge receipt of the Secure Rural Schools and Community Determination Act of 2000 funds and direct the clerk to advertise for county projects the amount of $21,023.56.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, all those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Tracy. You're up again, looks like. Knowledge disclosure statements of finances from Tracy Fletcher, Albany County Sheriff, or excuse me, Treasurer, and Sonny Madden, Albany County Deputy Treasurer, Tracy Fletcher, Albany County Sheriff. Sorry, Tracy.
Can we just maybe demote me back to county treasurer, please? Just for the record, just kidding. Good morning again. So this is our required annual disclosure of our bank accounts where we have personal money, where the county has money. That makes sense. So I personally have money at the Bank of the West. I also have a big loan there. And then Sunny, in her capacity as deputy, she is a signer on the accounts as well. And so she has banking at First Interstate Bank as well as Bank of the West for personal use. And these are just acknowledging so you guys know that we're banking where we bank, the county banks.
That's the purpose of this, Tracy?
Yes.
And it's done annually?
Yes.
Okay, aren't we nosy?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's probably good to note that I have an account where the county has their millions. So, I mean, I have, when I did get my loan through Bank of the West, just as an aside, it wasn't through the local branch here because I didn't want any of that to appear that I was getting any favors done from the local branch. But they did make me do an extensive questionnaire and interview process because of being an elected official and being subject to possible public, what do I want to say? Not scrutiny, but vulnerability, I guess, is what they made me do. Much to my husband's dismay because it was on our new RV loan and he wanted it faster than they were processing it. So.
I didn't see that the chairman was approved to transfer funds from these accounts.
No, the chairman is not.
Okay.
Commissioners. However, over the years, I mean, we've gotten some of those spam or phishing emails. I've gotten a few from Heber says, "Hey, Tracy, this is Heber. Transfer some money to me."
Really?
Yes.
You never even told me that.
Well, because I knew it really wasn't you.
How did they even? They must have some way that they mine metadata to pick names that tie to each other so that I can just, friendly request money from my good friend Tracy without calling her on the phone.
Right.
If you needed money, you would just send your friend an email, right?
Right, exactly.
There was a law firm here in town a couple of years ago that this is totally inside, I'm sorry. They got an email from their secretary, or the secretary got an email purporting to be from one of the attorneys saying to wire money to this account. And it was part of an ongoing settlement they had, but all the wiring instructions were wrong. And so they wired it and had to stop it. It was a big mess. Yeah, it's scary the things they do.
Well, my comment about this disclosure process is that if Wyoming's pretty chill, but if this was New York, if this was Manhattan, and the borough treasurer, or whatever, was a billionaire real estate developer, all of a sudden that whole banking thing would look really different. But when you're doing consumer loans, like a home loan or car loans, that's not the same as maybe a direct business banking relationship. That would get sticky.
Well, seeing how Tracy is, as of today, our sheriff, she'll be all over this. She's on top of it, Tracy.
Are you online, Aaron? Because watch out. Just kidding.
Commissioners, I'd entertain a motion for 18.
Yes, I move that we accept or approve the disclosure statements of finances from Tracy Fletcher, Albany County Treasurer, and Cindy Madden, Albany County Deputy Treasurer.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, all those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Tracy. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
And just know that you better appear in person if I have to really truly transfer money for the county.
Okay. 19, award bid for the purchase and delivery of one 2021 Caterpillar 150-15 all-wheel drive motor grader to Wyoming Machinery in the amount of $197,741. Rob, good morning. Thank you. The floor is yours.
Good morning. Thank you, Chairman Gosar and Commissioners. As you know, we went out to bid for a 150 all-wheel drive motor grader. The one in Rock River is up on its warranty, so by keeping things in warranty, it's really saved the county a lot of money. We had three companies bid. Wheeler Machinery Company had a final bid of $235,400. Wyoming Machinery Company had a bid of $197,741. That also included a total machine warranty for 9 years or 9,000 hours, which is an upgrade from our 7-year program that we're on now. Haunting Equipment bid a John Deere. Their final bid was $179,100. That did not include a 7-year, 5,000 hour total machine warranty. If you added that on, they had a in their bid packet, they said they had $20,020, so that would have brought their total up to $199,120. So Wyoming Machinery, by bidding a Cat machine, had the low bid of $197,741, and I would recommend that we purchase that blade. The money will be coming out of the 2010 specific purpose tax.
Commissioners, any questions for Rob? Entertain a motion for item number 19.
I move that we approve item 19 as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 20, present for approval, equipment purchase and trade-in agreement between Board of Commissioners of the County of Albany, Wyoming, by and through Albany County Road and Bridge and Wyoming Machinery Company for the purchase and delivery of one 2021 Caterpillar 150-15 all-wheel drive motor grader in the amount of $197,741. Rob, again, if you have anything else to add?
No, nothing really. It's just the agreement to do the purchase and trade-in.
Commissioners?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve item number 20 as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
I'd just like to thank the attorney's office for their help in putting together this bid packet for me. It's really appreciated. Thank you.
Rob, I have just one quick question. Just for, does the warranty usually expire because of the hours or the years? So
for us, most of the time, the years come up before the hours.
Okay.
For example, this machine that we're trading in right now, it's only got roughly 4,000 hours on it, but it was also down for 3 months. Wyoming Machinery had to put a new engine in it that the warranty paid for. So that is a huge relief that we don't have to budget for something like that.
Thank you, Rob. Did we have a motion?
We did.
Okay. Hearing and seeing no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Item 21, present for approval, lease agreement between the Albany County Board of Commissioners and the American Legion Husted Pendleton YO Post 114 for the Albany County Victim Witness Program of the Albany County Prosecuting Attorney's Office from July 1, 2021 through June 30, 2022, in an amount not to exceed $8,400. Jennifer.
Yes. This is the building at 112 South Fifth that the lease splits between the Victim Witness Program and the Albany County Attorney's Office program funds. And so this initial in 21 is for the Victim Witness Program, and their rent is $900 a month for $8,400 a year. And then that's plus utilities. We pay those outside of the lease.
Commissioners, any questions, comments? I'd entertain a motion for item 21, please.
I move that we approve item 21 as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 22, present for approval the lease agreement between the Albany County Board of Commissioners and the American Legion Husted Pendleton Wild Post 114 for the Albany County and Prosecuting Attorney's Office from July 1, 2021 through June 30, 2022. The amount not to exceed $9,000 for the lease of a portion of the building located at 112 South Fifth Street for additional office space. Jennifer, please.
This is the county attorney portion of that lease, and it is $950 a month plus their share of utilities when those come in.
Commissioners, any questions?
None.
Entertain a motion for 22, please.
I so move that we approve item 22 as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 23. Present for approval, affiliation agreement between Keith and Associates Incorporated and the Board of Commissioners of Albany County, Wyoming, by and through the Albany County WIC program for the purpose of allowing the Albany County WIC dietitian to be a preceptor for Keith dietetic internship students. Thank you, Jennifer, for covering for Kristen.
You're welcome. I'm filling in for Kristen today. She was scheduled at a different WIC clinic and couldn't be here. But what this is Keith and Associates is, I can't remember where that, Kansas maybe now. And they approached Kristen about having a dietetic internship student follow her precept with her at the WIC program here in Albany County. So we reviewed that contract and revised it. There's no cost to the county to do it, and Kristen agreed to do it. So this is just the agreement that outlines who does what and how they report back to Keith about the student's progress, and that the county can, or Kristen through the county can terminate the internship student if something's a problem.
Commissioners, any questions?
Jennifer, has Kristen had an intern with her before?
I'm not sure if Kristen has or not. We have done several of these agreements with public health before, but I'm not sure about the WIC program.
Commissioners, I'd entertain a motion for 23.
I move that we approve item 23 as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same side. Motion carries. Item 24, present for approval contract between Board of Commissioners of Albany County, Wyoming, by and through the Albany County Sheriff's Office and WatchGuard Video Inc. and the master customer agreements in the amount of $14,365 for the migration of current in-car video storage to WatchGuard's cloud storage services and upgrade to EL4 to evidencelibrary.com. Adam and Sheriff Appleham.
Hi, Commission. Thank you for today. I'll speak at least on the IT perspective. So this will be a migration from our localized storage here to their cloud offerings for WatchGuard. I believe the contract is for unlimited storage per unit set. So you pay kind of a per unit price for bottomless storage, which will be able to pull us into retention policies that are parallel with what the state and the federal regulations are asking. So it's a kind of a two-step process. It's the new stand-up, new system in terms of their cloud infrastructure, and then the migration of any historical information here out to that same application. Is there any questions?
Entertain a motion for item 24.
I move that we approve item 24 as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 25. Thank you, Adam. Present for approval, master services and purchasing agreement between Axon Enterprise Inc. and the Board of Commissioners of Albany County, Wyoming by and through the Albany County Sheriff's Office in the amount of $384,211.20 over a 5-year period for the purchase of body worn cameras and conducted energy weapons. Sheriff Applehans, good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is a new contract between Albany County Sheriff's Office and Axon to provide body cameras for my entire department, both on patrol and in the detention center. And EDCs, electronic control devices, tasers also for everybody within my department. But the contract that we have is expired and the equipment that we have is outdated and no longer under warranty. So we've had some issues with some of the data migration, hence the reason for Adam being here prior to me of trying to get our in-car camera video data migrated over to unlimited cloud storage. It'll be the same for all of our body-worn camera video that we take for all of our contacts will also be included in this contract for unlimited data storage on the cloud as well. So basically brings all of our equipment up to date, increases our transparency through our office, literally upgrades all of the software, all of the training that we need to make sure that we're doing law enforcement the way it should be conducted here in the county.
Thank you, Sheriff. Any questions? Go ahead.
Cheryl Applehans has, you said these body worn cameras would be available for all of your staff, everyone in the department.
Yeah.
Historically, has that been true? Has everyone had one in the past?
No, we've only had body cameras for our patrol that's out on the road and only a few body cameras for our deputies within the detention center. So this new contract expands that equipment to every deputy that I have.
That's great. It expands that transparency. Super. Thank you.
Any other further questions? I'd entertain a motion for item 25.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve item 25 as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. Present for approval, the Wyoming Department of Agriculture 2021 Wyoming Emergency Insect Management Grant Pre-Award Acceptance Letter in the amount of $34,000 and direct the chairperson to sign. Kayla, good morning. Thank you.
Good morning, Chairman Gosar and Commissioners. We requested $85,000 from the Emergency Insect Management Grant, and the state came back with the award of only $34,000. So this is a pre-award acceptance letter, and then the next agenda item, we'll talk about the budget. But so this is just the pre-award letter to go back to the state.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve item 26. Action you decide.
There a second?
Oh, sorry, second, yes.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 27, present for approval budget allocations for the Wyoming Department of Agriculture 2021 Wyoming Emergency Management Grant in the amount of $34,000. Kayla.
Hello again. Okay, so Bailey was so nice to do these options for you guys. I can't take the credit for it, but I'll explain basically what the options are and how she derived at those numbers. So option A, and I think you guys have a list of the options. Okay, so she put the subrecipients at the amount they received last year and then decreased that amount by 57% that Albany County was awarded. So I think I don't know how she came up with it. That's what she did. So there is option A. Option B, she took the request the subrecipients made this year and decreased it by 40%. And then option C, she took the difference between option A and option B. And I'll kind of give a synopsis. I think she recommends option C, and the reason is for the match that you see in option C. The Rock Creek does not have a match because they were asking a bit more for Big Laramie and Little Laramie. And due to The original request from Rock Creek, they weren't sure if they were even going to use that full amount. So I think that's why she decreased that Rock Creek one in option C. I think she thinks that probably option C is the best just because of Big Laramie and Little Laramie probably needing more than Rock Creek actually does. Once this is done, though, we'll send the three options, or we'll send the option back to the districts, and then they will update their budgets. They will get that information back to us, and then that will be submitted to the state with that pre-award letter. So you guys get to choose option A, B, or C.
Commissioners, any questions? And entertain a motion for item 27.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve budget allocation for the Wyoming Department of Agriculture 2021 Wyoming Emergency Insect Management Grant in the amount of $34,000 as described in options.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Kayla.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Well done, Heber, on that motion.
Item 28, present for approval, telemedicine amendment to the Albany County Employees $1,100 deductible plan benefit booklet to include definition of telemedicine and to add language on subscription services and telemedicine effective July 1st, 2021. Amanda or Jackie or? Thank you, Jackie.
Mr. Chairman and Commissioners, this is the standard amendment that we follow with Blue Cross Blue Shield, and this is for our $1,100 deductible plan for the amendment regarding telemedicine for your approval.
Commissioners, any questions? Entertain a motion for item 28 then.
I move that we approve item 28 as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 29, present for approval telemedicine amendment to the Albany County Employees High Deductible Health Plan HDHP plan benefit booklet to include definition of telemedicine and to add language on subscription services and telemedicine effective July 1st, 2021. Thank you, Jackie.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, this is the same amendment as the previous agenda item, but this is for our high deductible health plan for those employees that participate to amend telemedicine into the plan.
Any questions, concerns, motions?
Yes, I move that we approve item 30 as presented. I'm sorry, 29 as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 30, present for approval memorandum of understanding between the LAVA cooperating agencies and the USDA Forest Service, Medicine Bow, Road National Forests, and Thunder Basin National Grassland. Commissioners, any thoughts, suggestions?
I have
Motion.
edits.
Okay.
Let me find where I'm looking here. Edit on page 1, subsection 2. Yeah, the statement, the LAVA cooperators will benefit through an increased opportunity to advance each agency's mission. Agency should be singular, spelled AGENCY apostrophe S, mission. And yeah, I guess that's the only edit.
Okay. Yay.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the MOU between LAVA cooperating agencies and USDA Forest Service, Medicine Bow, Route National Forests, and Thunder Basin National Grassland, including commissioners, Commissioner Ibera's edits.
Thank you, Heber. And I second that for purposes of having a seat at the table.
Okay. Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 31, award the 2021-2022 County Commissioners Initial Scholarship. Thank you, Jackie.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, the Albany County Scholarship Committee met. There were only 3 applications this year, and therefore they have made the following recommendations as far as ranking the applicants. The first choice is Taylor Gardner. The second choice is Rachel Broyles. And the third choice is Maddie Applehans. This is presented for your consideration to have these scholarships awarded to these 3 individuals.
Commissioners?
Yes, Jackie, what is the amount of the scholarships?
The amount of scholarship is $500 for each of the 3. And this information is submitted to the University of Wyoming, and they then provide notice to the applicants. Certainly, if they are in receipt of other scholarships, all of that award money is put together and the university handles all of that notification. I have asked Chairperson Gosar to, if he was available, to award these scholarships to 2 of the Laramie High School applicants next Tuesday. And there is also a request if there is a Chairperson Gosar availability or another commissioner's availability to go to Rock River the afternoon of May 19th to award that scholarship there.
Yes.
This May 19th.
I think May 19th is during the, no, it's, yeah, the WCCA's spring meeting. So.
I'll get back to you on that, Jackie. Thank you.
It's challenging.
Yeah, Commissioners, I take a motion for item 31.
I move that we approve the award of the 2021-2022 County Commissioners Initial Scholarship of the amount, for the amount of $500 each.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 32, ratify airport coronavirus relief grant program concessions relief addendum part 1 offered to the LAR-NMG-3-56-0017-041-2021 grant agreement for the Laramie Regional Airport regarding the FAA COVID-19 grant. Commissioners, or somebody here, Tim, would you give us a little bit? Thank you. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning. This is the second phase of what is the CARES grant. This year, we have not asked the county for any funds this year. We may need to ask you to later in a budget amendment to provide us with a portion of the match that we are required to put up on some grants. But this is a federal fund with no match at this point in time. So this will help us also help you a little bit without having to fund the airport this year. Don't think you're getting away forever. Just know that it's not going to happen this year.
Yeah.
So we have worked hard to try and help both the city and the county in bringing those funds to the community and to the airport.
Thank you, Tim. Commissioners, any questions? I'd entertain a motion for item 32.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve item 32 as presented.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
I didn't want to read all that. I did.
All right. Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thanks, Tim. Thanks to the board for helping us with our budget this year.
We're trying to help as much as we can.
Thank you.
Everybody come fly.
Item,
it's a good investment.
Yeah. Yeah. Item 33, acknowledge receipt of letter of resignation from Amy Terrell, Albany County Court Supervised Treatment Programs Director. Amy.
I have tendered my resignation to the county. This has been an amazing job. I've enjoyed working here. I was offered the job as the director of the Laramie Regional Airport. I have accepted it. So this month I've talked to Sue. I'm kind of straddling the fence and working both jobs as we look for my replacement. I will be here as we transition to help. I can come back and help close budgets. I've talked to Christina about that. But just a big thank you to all of you for a wonderful 5 years. I look forward to continue working with you guys in a different capacity. But thank you very much for the opportunity to work here.
Commissioners, any thoughts?
I have a couple of questions, Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead.
How many participants total between adult, juvenile, all of the specialty courts? How many participants were there when you started versus the height of the program, let's say?
Well, so let's think. When we started the program, we had, and I was looking more at the financial as I was resigning, kind of what we've done. But when we started the program, we had $174,000 and 7 participants, adults only, and we were giving back $50,000 a year, approximately. Since that time, we have grants to serve 40 adults, 15 juveniles. We've had numerous graduates, and we have about 3.1 million. So it's changed quite a bit in those 5 years. We've had an amazing team in place to help that. I'd love to stand up here and say it was all me, but it has been with the support of the county and those members on the team that we've accomplished this. So it was, in fact, as I was taking the new job, or we were talking about, I said, I'm real concerned because we've had this amazing grants department that I know how to work with. Can we loop back in and do an MOU with grants? And we've had this legal team that has helped us see everything through. When I ask for contracts, I get contracts, leases, RFPs. It's just this seamless process. And those were real concerns because I know what a beautiful partnership it is at the county that I wanted to continue that, because those are, I believe those are things that made it possible to grow the program, grow the funding, and support the community, because we've had such a team behind the scenes doing all the other stuff that has to happen. And then we have that mental health, the juvenile mental health grant. I believe that'll be coming in. Hopefully we're awarded that and we will find out in September. So that will be another program that they'll start opening. So, exciting times. I asked Christina if I could sit in without a vote, mainly to ask questions and kind of talk about the program if there's stuff, and share my insight. But yes, and I believe there's up to 17 candidates already for the job. It posted on Thursday.
Wow.
So anytime we want to start interviewing, I would love to transition. But I know the county is going to be thoughtful about how they do it, and I'm here to support. So.
Well, Amy, thank you so much for your work and for seeing people with addictions and with mental illness in a light that I think is more humane and more reasonable, and for setting this up and moving us in the direction. It's hard to watch you and County Attorney Trent go with regard to this, because I think it's so important, but you set us on a good path, and thanks. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you. And next week I'll come back and our next commissioner meeting, I'll come back and introduce myself in my new role. So. Thank you. We've appreciated the support.
Item 33, commissioners, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we not. So I move that we acknowledge receipt of the letter of resignation for the County Board Supervisor Treatment Program.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.
Item 34, discuss GIS responsibilities and approve the salary authorization. So I think there was some discussion about the last time we left this, if the salary was $57,200 or $60,000. I think that the letter went out with, at the level of $60,000. And so I just wanted to make the commissioners aware of that, and to see if there were objections to that. And then maybe also discuss the GIS, since it'll be in the assessor's office, but there'll need to be access for the public directly. I've had some discussions with Grant about that. And so he assures me that Karen will be accessible to the not only program directors and elected officials, but also the public. And they're working on that flow right now. So just wanted to make that clear to everybody. And do you have any questions or concerns about that?
I'm following the communication from you and the- Things, picture that is going to happen quite successfully.
Commissioner Richard? Okay. And everybody is clear and all right with the $60,000?
You have a letter that already been sent. You really can't block that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys. Item 35.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the salary authorization for the GIS specialist.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thanks, Commissioner Richardson, for the catch. I appreciate that. 35, present for approval, resolution 2021-013, a resolution to retain outside counsel. Jennifer, please. Thank you.
Oh, there we go. I was like, I texted her and told her it was coming up.
And Attorney Trent, the outside counsel
Yes.
resolution.
Commissioners, at this time, the county attorney's office is requesting appointment of special counsel and concerning a personnel matter that is occurring in the county within an elected official's office, not mine. And I feel it would be best we have outside counsel and that they're utilized instead of our HR department as well. The only thing is it will cost money for you to pay for that particular attorney. And we would probably have to pay it out of my budget. It will require any money from your general fund for the particular matter.
Commissioners, any questions?
Is this if or when we approve this, does this become a blank signed check?
There will be an agreement for services with my office. And so at that point, my office cannot oversee it because of the conflict or anything, but pretty much you need representation on this matter.
But I mean, is there a way to predict or control the cost? Or is it
We could put a
blank
limit
signed
on
check?
it. That's probably an outstanding idea. We would say up to $10,000 right now.
And then if we wanted to spend more, we would reevaluate.
We can come
our
back and ask
position
you.
authorize.
Absolutely. I do anticipate this may cost up to $40,000 or $50,000.
Tracy, it's good to have you in the room. Jackie, right. We've got you doing a couple of jobs.
Tracy's like, oh, she flip-flops when she has to answer.
Which budget would you suspect that, I know we'd have to probably backfill the county attorney's budget.
Everything that might be better, for that, like, if you have the CISP,
Can miscellaneous uncommitted be used for this type of expenditure? I think we're stuck with capital improvement special projects.
There's only a little over $2,000 left in CISP. So that is good. But there are funds in miscellaneous uncommitted in 1%. Actually, the balance as of the period ending March 31st, there was approximately $90,000. There's $3,500 that will come, or actually now $4,000 that will come out of that fund because of approval of
funds to project graduation to waivers, signing now to the historical preservation board. So you do have funds in that category. That are available for use. For this particular.
Would it be possible that we go into an executive session to discuss personnel and let me explain, because you may give you more ideas of funding sources? Would that be permissible?
Yeah, how about with the change to the agenda? Can we make the change to the agenda?
Yeah, to go into an executive session.
Jackie, your thoughts on that? Can we do that?
Oh.
Okay, we'll add that after
Jackie, do you agree?
35D. So that'll be 35E.
Not 35 is growing.
And pursuant to, what would be the statute?
16-405.
405.
405A triple I.
You got it.
Mr. Well, okay. We're not doing that now.
Yeah, so thank you. So I guess we'll table this until we get back from that. And we'll move on to 35A, which for the life of me, I can't remember. I know it's a resolution, but which one? I think it's the acceptance of the county attorney's resignation.
Yes, I believe, Chairman Gosar, that it is resolution 2021-014, which is the acceptance of Ms. Trent's resignation, along with exhibits 1 and 2, which are her letter of resignation and then the letter to the Democratic Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve resolution 2021-014 with the addendum. As presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, all those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 35B. Go ahead, please, Jennifer. Thank you.
You're welcome, Chairman. That is resolution 2021-015, which outlines the process for interviews of the county attorney position, which will be vacant as of tomorrow. And that questions are accepted from the public and some standard questions that would be asked of all applicants. And then it gives each of you the ability to select 10 questions from the public applicants to be able to ask as well.
Commissioners, any questions? Entertain a motion for 35B.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve resolution 2021-015, a resolution describing our process in conjunction with the statutory described process to appoint a replacement county attorney.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, all those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 35C, is that the TAMP?
Yes.
So this is the idea that you guys would give me preliminary approval to sign a reduction in the TAMP ask from the county due to the rental assistance being moved to the emergency rental assistance program and out of the TAMP.
Yep.
And entertain a motion for that, please.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we authorize you, the chair, to sign the, I don't know, is that a contract? What is that? To sign the updated application as it relates to the reduction of rental assistance funds in the TANF grant as described.
Jackie.
Can I suggest that you use the word amended application? Because we are amending.
Oh, good point. I just said the application.
Guess you could just add amendment.
Just add amended. I don't have a second.
You have a second now for your amended application.
Seconded. Thank you for wading through that with no script. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, all those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And then 35D.
You're just killing it today, Heather. With these.
35D is that corrected quitclaim deed for the packet vacation,
okay.
which, as I mentioned before, fixes the missing call and an incorrect minutes and seconds on the original. So what I would ask is that we authorize you, Chairman Gosar, to sign and then direct the clerk to record it.
Commissioners, any questions?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we authorize you, the chair, to sign the corrected quitclaim deed between Albany County, Wyoming and Diane Packett, the grantee, with the purpose of correcting the legal description of the parcel that was intended to be described in the original quitclaim deed.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, all those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Yeah.
Can I also add for your consideration, the approval for your letter to the Democratic Party authorizing the vacancy of the county attorney's office so that their clocks are basically under that.
I didn't include that in my motion, did I?
I didn't include it in my notes here, sorry.
You could just make another motion here under 35E.
Yeah. I like the number 35. Don't you? Mr. Chairman.
Oh, go ahead.
You go ahead.
I move that we approve or we direct you, the chair, to sign and forward on your letter to the Democrat Party announcing the vacancy and the initial start of the replacement process for county attorney.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, all those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, yes, Jackie.
Going into executive session.
Does anybody need a break before we go into executive session?
There'll be a little bit of a transition just between when we leave regular and go in. All right. Mr. Chairman, I move that we exit regular session and enter into executive session pursuant to Wyoming statute 16-405A3.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, all those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Leave the regular session at 11:35. Enter executive session. we'll need a motion to return to regular session before the other motion. All right, and welcome back, everybody. We are back in the commission chambers. I can entertain a motion to return to regular session, please.
I move that we exit executive session and return to regular session.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We're now in regular session at 12:14. And I believe any action after the executive session.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I move that we approve resolution 2021-013, a resolution to retain outside counsel and to have this paid through emergency funds.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same side. Motion carries. That finishes up with 35. I guess we move to item 36.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve vouchers for April 2021.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, same side. Motion carries. I move that we adjourn and return back at 2 o'clock for a work session with regard to the county commission rules of procedure. Well, no, we're just going to do that. So thank you.